Guys, welcome back to another preview on the channel, and we are already looking ahead to Forest's next game as we take on the champs, the 115, the 4 in a row losses, Manchester City. But we're previewing it with our mate Daps from Never a Foul. Daps, how you doing, bud?
So you're a negative channel, are you?
Mate, we're just a factual channel, mate.
115, 4 losses in a row. You probably could have gone more than 4 losses in a row. You
I
didn't
was being
mention
kind.
you didn't mention the four-peat. You didn't mention the treble. You didn't mention 100-point season. You didn't mention winning 6 of the last 7 Premier Leagues.
Oh, the whole Pep thing, yeah, for the old. He got rattled, mate. He was rattled.
You know
He
what?
was.
What he said afterwards is true. He said, like, I understand, like, when we lost at this club, he goes, but I didn't expect it from Liverpool because we lose it. Like, why haven't they done it every other year when we lose it? Because we do.
He made a good point. You know what? I didn't mind it. I don't mind seeing a bit of that from the managers, man. It's just a little personality.
I like when the managers actually, yeah. But listen, Pep is rattled at the moment. Come on, let's be clear. We've all seen his face. He's rattled. He's pissed off. He's in a position he's never been in before. It's what it is, man.
Well, let's talk about it. By the way, guys, link Never a Foul. I'm always on there pissing Daps off.
You
So
are indeed.
make sure you subscribe there.
But that ends this week. Me and Cass, we have 2 objectives this week. Firstly, it's us on Wednesday. We have the objective of shutting you up, and then again,
Good luck.
I think Cass has got you on Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday.
So listen, by the end of this week, I mean, I listen. I don't mind if it's only us that shut you up, and then you go and beat them lot, because them lot need shutting up at the moment as well. Because all of a sudden, I've got United fans all of a sudden thinking they can talk.
Or
to
they
us.
beat Everton. They beat Everton, and that's it. That's it. This sounds way too familiar. I'll save that for the cast conversation. But let's talk about yous, man. Stop diverting away. Stop deflecting. Yeah, that's what you've been doing the last few weeks, mate. What's gone wrong? What's gone wrong?
Do you know what? We've all taken our eyes off the ball, and I mean that from the manager, from the board, but also us fans. Like, we should have seen it coming. If you look at, you know, Walker's 34, Gundogan is 34. I think De Bruyne is 33 or 34. And even though he's been back in training for 4 or 5 weeks, he's still saying he's not fit. So, like, Kovacic is, I think, about 30, 31, right?
Yeah.
So we have no legs in midfield. But we all should have seen this coming. We were happy to get Gundogan back. In hindsight, I've always said I don't want Vinny as my man. Like, Vinny would have to win 5 Bundesligas and 2 Champions Leagues before I'd ever want him at City, because I loved him so much as a player. I don't want to be like Chelsea fans were with Lampard, or there's other examples, or United were with Ollie.
Yeah.
I don't do the romance thing. But the Gundogan thing drew me in. We're getting Mr. Clutch back, and in hindsight, it wasn't what we needed. It's all just caught up with it. Look, there are injuries. I think the other thing that's caught up with us is, and Pep said it this week, in world sport, no team dominates their sport like City have the Premier League, right? For the way we've dominated it. And you know, like when Liverpool won 1 league, the season after, so Liverpool challenged us, won the league, and then the season after, everyone was like, yeah, but they're tired, right? I mean, Arsenal, I've heard this season, Arsenal were tired. If you think about it, this is like City's 8th season of trying to go in every competition. That's caught up with us. We're tired. Maybe it has got to a point now where Pep is struggling to motivate certain players. And I always say this, when things are going well, it's very easy for a manager to speak to people in the dressing room a certain way and everything be great. Klopp with his cuddles, all of that, yeah. It's easy when you're winning, and this is in any walk of life. When you're losing, you have to speak to people differently, and then they don't like that, right? And they throw their toys out of the pram. I think there's probably been a lot of that at City. You've got players like Bernardo that's wanted to go for several seasons. We haven't held him hostage, just no one's actually came in and offered money. But because of that, if you want to go and then your manager's speaking to you in a different way than he has for the last 8 years, you're going to want to go even more. And I just think it's just a shit show at the moment. Like, and it's not something that I think is going to be resolved easily. It isn't. Like, everyone goes, "Oh, it's fine. January transfer window, City will go and spend big."
Yeah.
Even if we were to go and spend big in the January transfer window, which we will spend, I don't think we'll go. I think we'll buy 2 players max, right? Max. I don't think we're going to all of a sudden fucking lose our head. Like, that's not the way City have been. But even if we go and buy 2, the chance of getting a DM that can come into the Premier League and instantly hit the ground running. Like, people have said Wharton. I don't want Wharton. Like, I would love Wharton long term. I don't want Wharton to arrive in January and all of a sudden the pressure to be on a young kid for him to be the saviour of Manchester City. That's not like, so
And he's
realistically,
been struggling this season at Palace.
struggling with
Yeah.
injuries as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, again, that wouldn't be good. So that, like, we need at the moment, we need a Caicedo. We're not going to get Caicedo, but that's what we need. We need some legs. But listen, Pep said something yesterday after the game that I've been asking for easily 2 years. And I also know, I know his brother. Speak with his brother, was away in Athens with his brother, and his brother was saying he wants it. Like, he literally wants to play there. Jack Grealish in the 8 role. And Pep said after the game yesterday, maybe we need to play Jack in the middle of the pitch. Now, to me, we've seen it for England. We've even seen it in flashes for City. When Grealish drops deep and picks up the ball in a central area, he cooks, right? And it's perfect for what we need at the moment. We need a player that can just pick up the ball and hold onto the ball and advance the ball up the pitch, right? It's perfect. And I think we'll see that. I think if Pepper said it yesterday, it will happen against you on Wednesday.
You know what? I wish you'd won yesterday. Because, like,
So do I, but that was never.
You know, but from my point of view, I just hate that you're coming in with all these L's that you're holding, and then it's against us. That's my biggest worry about Wednesday. But is it broken you enough yesterday? Do you think that realistically, Man City are now out of a title race?
Oh yeah.
So is the motivation gone? Like, the Premier League, you just scratching it off this season?
Me personally, I don't believe we can win the Premier League, and the main reason is, like, yesterday, right? I kind of thought before yesterday it was gone because of what I've seen. Like, it's not just the points; it's more the damage, right? And the damage mentally that has been done on this ultra confident team, I think, is great. It's great. It's going to take a while to get over this. Now, win against Liverpool. Firstly, that would have dropped the points gap to within a touching distance.
Yeah.
I think it would have been 6 if we would have won. 8 if we would have drew. A draw would have been fine, right? Would have kept them within touching distance. Would have started to maybe put a bit more confidence in us. But for me now, it's not about that. It's about, like, for me as a fan, I don't think we're going to win it. But I think Pep will probably, and certain players will probably now be right. We're not giving up because that isn't what we do, right? And we're not all of a sudden, like, we're not going to write off a season. Yeah. Ruben Diaz came out after the game. I think he's key to this. I think the whole City rebuild, because this is going to be a rebuild. Ruben Diaz and Rodri, when he gets back, they are pivotal to this. Like, not just as in players, but also their mentality, because they have. They both clearly still want to be here. There's a fact that Ruben Diaz is about to be offered a new contract. It kind of tells me, they know. The fact that Ruben Diaz was the one doing all the interviews after the game yesterday.
Yeah.
He's very clearly going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's given the armband in the summer.
Is he under pressure though, Dabs? Like, or is he untouchable? Pep, I'm talking here. Like, is there a scenario?
I think he's under. I think him personally, he's under the biggest pressure. Pep is under is from himself.
From him, yeah,
100%. Like,
has he ever had this? Has he ever had this in his career?
Never, no way. The biggest pressure, 100%, is from him. Look, him and not just Tiki and Serrano, him and Khaldoon are very close, right? As far as with the fans, like, there will be some entitled younger fans that start to say mental things, but to game going City fans, to older City fans, bro, the guy's done everything. Like, do you know what? The last time Pep probably had pressure like this was first season at City when we finished third.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And we won nothing. We didn't win a single trophy.
Yeah.
And we
I
were going,
remember for some reason
ooh.
that I don't know why. I remember you losing to, I think it was Leicester.
No,
Like
that was bro,
was
5-2. 5-2.
yeah.
That
Was
was
that year?
nah. That was 4 years ago. That we won the league that year.
It might have been one before. I can't remember, but I just remember
Oh, it
he
might have been the
wasn't in
season.
the.
It might have been the Pep's first season. Who won the league? Chelsea, I think, won the league. Pep's first
Yeah, no, I
season.
think it was that, and I think
We
your
might have lost to
title
Leicester then.
ended against Leicester or something. I think they
Yeah,
beat you. It might have been like 1 or 2. No, I can't remember. But yeah, you're right. He's had it good. You lot have had it good because you are right. You know, I know not a lot of City fans are pre-08, but I know you are, right? So you've seen all the shit that we've had to see as Forest fans
yeah.
as well. So you've had your good times. But
It's hard. It's hard. That's what makes it even. So it's one of them ones. Now I said this yesterday. Yeah, where it's is it better to see and lose your sight, or to be born blind and never see at all? Right.
that's
And
deep. That's deep.
but bro, when I was young, like I'm speaking about when I was young. And by the way, when I'm saying when I was young, I know I look really, really young now, yeah. But when
Mm,
I'm talking when I was young and going to games, this was pre-championship and pre-Division One. This was
mm,
main road, like early days of the Premier League. Yeah,
uh,
this was, and my memories of going to Main Road were not winning games. Like, if people ask me the most I celebrated at Main Road, I will tell them it's when we lost 3-2 to Queen's Park Rangers, but Blackburn Rovers won the league that day. And the whole of Main Road was celebrating the fact that, like, bro, that, and this is honestly a thing. We lost 3-2 to Queen's Park Rangers at home, but Blackburn Rovers won the league. Yeah.
that
And the
was the
mad thing
best
is,
year ever, bro. We finished third in the Premier League that year.
and the mad thing is, if you fast forward almost 20 years, we beat Queen's Park Rangers 3-2 at home and won the league for the first
Yeah,
time.
you
So
did.
it's mad that it's the same thing. But that is my childhood. My childhood was never really, of course, I'd be going to games thinking, oh, I hope we win this. But it wasn't an expectation that we win it. And furthermore, if we lost games, it wasn't me leaving the ground pissed off, right? It was just, I've had a good day out the football with my dad, and I've watched my
Yeah,
heroes play.
yeah.
It's how many signatures I've got in my autograph book, what players I met before the game, all stuff like that. Yeah. And I remember, like, when I first moved down here, and I'd go and watch football with my friends who were Arsenal fans, and they'd be literally like, we'd be leaving pubs at full time, and they wouldn't be saying a word the whole journey home because they've lost. And I'd be like, I never want to be like that. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
But now I'm
You
there, like,
have. You've turned, bro. You've changed.
because when you get all of that success, and like, I've got friends whose kids go home and away in Europe, right? Like 13-year-old kids. They've watched City lose like 10 times in their life. And one of my friends said to
That's
him,
crazy.
when they lost to Tottenham, I go, "Did you leave early?" He goes, "Did I fuck?" He goes, "I wanted my son to experience what I experienced as a child. Like, it's time that
But do
he."
you miss it in a weird way, right? Because has it been boring? Do you know what I'm saying? I know it's a stupid
Nah,
question. Do you know what I'm
it
saying
hasn't.
though?
It's been
That
unreal,
little bit
bro.
of pain in football.
Nah, bro. I'm not. I've done pain. I've done pain, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's been, and this is where, when people talk about 115 and all of that, bro, you can't take the memories away from us. You can't take the memories, right? That's where I think there is a difference between being a game going fan and watching from afar. That when you watch from afar, it is more about winning. Yeah, because
Mm,
whereas if you're at the game, it's more about the experience. Because, you know what, we lost, but we lost together. It was a good day out.
yeah.
In the pub was jokes. The journey home on the coach was funny. Whatever it is, yeah, you have other memories. But the journey has been mad. Like, the journey for me has been a relevant one. The last, like, especially the last 3 or 4 years. Because the last 3 or 4 years, I got divorced like 3.5 years ago, and then was like, right, back to football because now I don't have to do the family stuff at the weekend. I'm going. So I've been there through all of this. I've done Madrid 4 times. I've done Istanbul. I've done Athens. I've done Wembley countless times. It's been like, and it's as a family as well, like as a group of like.
Yeah.
When I finish work on a Friday and I get the train to Manchester and I link up with all my friends up there for the whole weekend, it's been a sick journey. This season, I've been to the least games I've been to for about 3 or 4 years. I did
You started
Bratislava
losing,
away.
yeah. That's why.
Nah, not even. I agreed with myself at the start of this season that I was going to do a few more watch-alongs, try and focus a bit more on, and also give my liver a bit of a rest. And I said up until Christmas. So I've done Bratislava away, and I think I've done 2 home games and 1 away game.
Bless you.
I'm doing
Bless
Leicester. I'm going to do Leicester away, and then from January I'm going to start going up there a lot. But I do. The mad thing is, since we've started losing, I've been missing going to games more than I had at the start of the season when we were winning. When we were winning, I was just like, yeah, it's fine, we're winning, and I'm watching from afar. Now we're losing. I feel like I need to get my fucking self back up there now because.
Before we touch on the game,
I was planning to go to this game, but I didn't realise it was a midweek game.
I know it's a bit annoying midweek game, but it is what it is. Before we touch on the game, I've got to ask you about the 115. I know I've taken the piss out of you a lot about it, right? But where are we with it? Just for the guys watching
my
on our
opinions
channel.
or where the case is at the moment?
Yeah, where it is and how you think it's going to play out.
So where it is at the moment, I believe that all the evidence has been presented in both directions, and that it is currently on hold while both sides write their final speech.
Statements, yeah.
I believe they expect to have a decision by January sometime. But then whether we're found innocent or guilty or whatever, it won't be done this season, put it that way. Because if we're found innocent, it's done. If we're found guilty, then it will take probably another 9 months to a rehearing and all that crap. Now, I think, and I've thought this from the start, that we will be found guilty of some things, right? Generally, if there's 115 charges, and if you go and look at the charges, some of them are pathetic little charges, yeah? But that's like if the feds were to kick in my door looking for guns, bodies, and drugs, and they found a spliff in my ashtray, I would be found guilty of the spliff in my ashtray so that they don't have to pay for my front door, right? It's going to be the same thing. That either way, City will be seen guilty in some way. Now, how much? Who knows? For me, who knows? Now, there's a lot of signs to me that tell me City will not be found guilty of major things. Firstly, the fact that the powers that be at City, and I'm talking your Caldoons, I'm talking your Tickies, I'm talking your Serranos, who are all personal friends of Pep Guardiola, have given him countless reassurances, right? Now, and he, furthermore, if you think when it first came out, Pep came out himself, say he didn't need to do that, right? Pep has never needed to defend this club in that way. On the pitch, off the pitch, no, he did, which ultimately means if we're found guilty, well, Pep, your boys, your best friends in life lied to you, right? So firstly, I think that's a big deal. I think secondly, the fact that currently Manchester City, so we got found, this came out late January or early February 2023. About 9 months ago, Manchester City broke ground on the stadium development, which is putting a third tier on the family stand, building a fuck off hotel is a lot of money. Now, if Man City are being found guilty of all these charges and facing relegation, yeah, we are not putting a third tier on apparently a stadium that everyone tells us we can't fill, right? We're not putting in a fuck off hotel for tourists. We're not doing any of that. We would have said great for the planning permission, but let's hold fire on that because we seem very confident. And I think the other thing is that I don't believe the Premier League can afford to. I mean, right now, the mad thing is with where we are as a club here and now, the Premier League might be going, do you know what? Actually, the league can run without City still because it's running at the moment without City, basically.
Mm.
But I don't know. And as far as where I am with it, do I think that City have been naughty over the last 16 years? Yes, absolutely. Right. Do I think every single football club in the Premier League have been naughty and the
100%.
Championship? 100%.
Mm.
Football is a filthy right. Football is a game that brings so much money that all these wealthy people want to be involved in it. Right
Yeah.
now, tell me anything in this world, yeah, that earns that much money and isn't. Now, Todd Bowley is finding loopholes, calling them out left, right, and centre, right? And that's fine. Whereas I feel like City have been finding probable loopholes, but not calling them out because they're like, why do we need to? And I think
Mm.
that's maybe the difference of the fact that what it has been is from the start is Arab owners from a part of the world that the Western world do not want to break into the economy, right?
Yeah.
They don't want the Arab world in this economy, right? It's bigger than football, and so from the
Agreed.
start, it has been, you must tell us about this, you must tell us about this, and they're going, we don't have to tell you about anything. Same as we did with UEFA. Take us to court and we will present evidence. They took us to court, we presented evidence, and what did we get found guilty of? We got found guilty of, oh, you should have shown us the evidence earlier. Well, no, we wanted to pull your pants down in public because you're asking us to do things that we don't need to do. And I always say this to rival fans, right? That there's many a rival fan that will, away from football, be so. And by the way, I'm pro-Palestine personally, right? And they will also be pro-Palestine, right? And they will be telling us that the Western media is spinning us bullshit and that everything is anti-Islam, right? But then when it comes to Manchester City, they can't believe that the same thing is happening, right?
Mm.
Ultimately, it's all the same thing, yeah? It is powers not wanting a certain part of the world getting their foot in an economy that is a very good economy.
Yeah. And where there's money, there's corruption, bro. That's like standard.
100%.
It's
100%.
standard.
But
Yeah.
and then the whole FFP thing, which is kind of separate, because our case is, for me, is separate to FFP. Although it's
Yeah.
relevant to it, ours is, I think we've done worse than anyone else that, like, you lot, Everton, Villa, we've done worse, right? But we are also highlighting that rule is an absolute fucking joke. The
Yeah.
fact that, I believe it was last season, you man waited about 2 weeks to sell a player. Now, if you would have sold him, you would have been fined by FFP.
Yeah.
You waited 2 weeks to make sure that you earn more money, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
you got found guilty. Now, the purpose of FFP is to make sure that clubs don't
That's
go
sustainable.
bankrupt,
Yeah.
are sustainable. That is exactly what you did, and you got found guilty of it, right? And that is, like, we know from we've seen Portsmouth, we've seen Leeds, we've seen the likes of, we've seen
That
who
was
is it now?
ages ago, bro. Football's
Reading.
moved on.
No,
Football's
but
moved
even
on.
then, even with them, the whole thing was the owners were coming in and they were. I mean, we saw it with Sinatra.
Yeah.
If our lot didn't buy us out, Sinatra had, I think, signed about 120 million pounds worth of players on massive wages based on I'm going to give you the money when I get it, right? And then all of a sudden got told you ain't getting your money, and it was like, oh well, all that debt's on the club. That's what FFP is supposed to stop.
Exactly.
Right. It's not. We all know that the truth is FFP was brought in so that Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, bizarrely, yeah, always stayed
And
relevant.
Chelsea. Yeah.
And Chelsea. So, yeah. But I'm not here saying we've not done anything wrong. We have. But the rules are wrong.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the game. All right.
Yes.
Because 3 weeks ago, you were giving me shit, man. Circled
Now, it
it
must
in
have
the
been longer
calendar.
than that now, you know. It must have been longer than that.
Maybe longer than that. Yeah.
It
No,
must
yeah,
be
it would
about-
have been longer than that. Yeah. Bloody hell, you ain't won for ages,
We've
man.
been shit for a while, bro.
Yeah. How's your chest? How's your chest for Wednesday, bro? You still
It's
coming at
deflated.
me?
No. It's like, bro, we need to use this Forest game to do this. Yeah, it's and how I felt yesterday. 2-0 loss. I was like, do you know what? I'm glad it was 2-0. Could have been 3. Could
You
have been
called
4.
2-0 as well last week, right?
Bro,
You called it under those.
and I was happy with that. Like, do you know what?
2-0 loss. I can't
Happy with
believe
2-0
I'm hearing
loss.
that.
But a loss at Anfield's normal. So
Not
a
for
two
us, mate.
a 2-0 loss at Anfield is what it is. And then I thought, right, now we've got Forest at home. Hopefully we can start getting some confidence back. Because listen, we've got United at home soon. And at the moment, United at home is not a game I'm looking at going guaranteed 3 points. And it should be.
Yeah.
I just watched LB's stream. We're not all convinced about a win against Forest. Got to think, when we first lost our 4 games, they were all away from home. And I was going, it's fine because at home's a different thing.
Yeah.
At home is not a different thing anymore. Tottenham went and took that off of us.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, and I just think we have to. Right, if we lose at home to Forest, no disrespect to Forest and where
There
you
we
are
go.
and how you started this season, but losing at home to Tottenham, again, there is the narrative that, you know what, but
There's
Tottenham
that
do get
history there for the last
right.
couple of seasons. Yeah.
If we start losing at home to teams like Nottingham Forest, then bro, we're not even. I've accepted we're in a race for top 4 now, right? If we start, losing games at home to Nottingham Forest, are we actually going? Do you know what? City without Rodri are a mid-table team, like, because that is. But this is confidence in football is a big thing, so we need to use this to get some confidence back. There needs to be a lot of changes, man. Like,
You don't sound confident, bro. This isn't the Daps who was coming at me a month ago.
We've been battered. We've been battered, bruised, dragged through the shit. Bro, we were 3-0 up against Feyenoord. 15 minutes to
That
go.
was the worst one.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me,
psychologically, that's gonna hurt him, man.
I agree because the players were thinking we're easy
home and
sailing.
dry.
But losing at home is a bad thing. Yeah, losing at home 4-0 is a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace. Like, so now, I go into this expecting 3 points, but I find what Pep said about maybe we need to play Grealish in the middle of the park is a good thing, because before the Liverpool game, I kind of said, look, this is a bit like the way I would describe it is last season, Man United, how bad they were, how shit Anthony was, and when they still had Sancho going, it couldn't get any worse. Just play Sancho at right wing. Give him a chance. Now, for me, that's where I am with City. For me, Pep, we get your style of play and we get your stubbornness, but it can't get any worse than where we are right now. For me, it's time we see Diaz and Vardy as a centre-back partnership. I've been wanting that since the minute we signed Vardy. He's been great on the left, but
he's a natural CB, isn't he? Yeah.
Bro, we signed him as a bad boy centre back, and I was thinking that Ruben Diaz and Vardy centre back partnership could be sensational, right? That could be Premier League winning. Not this season now, but it could be. Again, for me, Grealish must go into the middle of the park because we're looking at players that defensively are a bit more aware. Grealish defensively is quite good. Players that can run with the ball, players that can drive, draw fouls. Grealish is perfect for that role. Before our legs went on our midfield, I thought Grealish was perfect for that 8 role. So I want to see Grealish in there. And De Bruyne, we need to work out what the fuck is going on with De Bruyne. There seems something a bit fishy going on there that maybe
beef backstage.
Whether it be beef, I mean, him and Bernardo beefing, whether it be him and Pep beefing, whether it be, that Pep's getting frustrated because De Bruyne feels so scared of his own fitness that Pep's like, well, hold on, what are you doing here then? If literally all you're going to be able to play is 15 minutes a game.
Who's injured for you right now going into this game? Do you know yet?
Rodri's injured. What other injuries we got now? Bo, I don't think Rodri, Bob. I think most of our injuries are almost sorted. The problem is, from what I think De Bruyne said mid last week, was that there's a lot of players that, although they're back fit, they're not fully fit. They're playing at 60% because they're not getting the time to recover. They're being rushed back because there's nothing available. So, but I off the top of my head, Kovacic is in. Kovacic, Rodri, Bob.
Okay. So what are you calling, mate? Get that chest out. Let's see it. Let's
City
get it
win.
on the
City
record.
win.
Yeah.
City
Comfortable
win.
or tight?
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight. Yeah,
Okay.
100% tight. 100% tight. Will Woods want to score against his old team? Because he certainly didn't last season, Wanu, did he?
Mate, I was there when we lost 6-0 to you. By the way,
So was
your
I.
atmosphere,
So was I.
your
Our
atmosphere
ground.
was shocking. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
bro.
early.
Oh,
That was early
that was
August,
last
wasn't it?
season. Last season,
No,
yeah.
no,
Bro,
it was season 4. Season 4. It was the season we came up.
I swear 6-0 was started last season.
Nah, it's season 4. It was where Cancelo scored that absolute screamer.
Yes, it was. Yeah, bro.
It was a
Cancelo,
training match.
Cancelo and
Yeah.
Foden down that. Yeah. Cancelo and Foden down the wing were just because it was when it was Haaland's first season. It was like you were so concerned with Haaland.
Did he get a hat trick that day? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. And it was literally a case of your defense seemed so concerned with Haaland that they were leaving space open, and Foden and Cancelo were just going, "Oh well, if you want to just mark him, we'll just walk it in." Yeah, bro. But do you know what? I'll be if you want to talk about atmosphere at City, quick. Yeah. So the atmosphere at Manchester City last season, absolutely shocking. And I'm not saying individual games. I'm saying last season, pretty much every game. Maybe Real Madrid Champions League was a good atmosphere then, but even Liverpool at home, shit atmosphere last season. It has got to a point now where, and the season before that, some games, the Saturday games against, I hate to say it, but some teams became a bit entitled. People dodging
that's
games.
how it felt. That's how it felt. I was there. It was like, yes, well done, we scored. But maybe if you'd passed
but literally, but the thing is, the games. So not last season, because last season it got so bad that I can tell you, a lot of my friends that are season ticket holders, they sell some of their home games now because the amount they're getting will fund away trips, right? And that's like that because, like, for example, Arsenal v City this season was going for like you could get like 600 quid for a home ticket.
Bloody
right?
hell.
So, and people, you've got to think how much money we have spent over the last 4 or 5 years on European after European, away. And it's the North, bro. Like the money up there's not as much money up there as there is down here. It's affected the atmosphere massively. Like the atmosphere at home is not great. Last season before last, the big games, you were still getting all of the diehards were going, yeah. Whereas last season you didn't. Like they were even dodging certain home games against United. Like, that might be a derby. We've done loads of them. And even this year, like, we'd rather do European away games. Like City's away fans are unreal, absolutely unreal. Even last season, I did Forest away last season, but yeah, I predict a City win. I do, but it's going to be interesting because you lot know every team that plays City now knows that they're shattered, that their confidence is shattered, and also I think
mentally shattered a bit, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's like all of a sudden this season, everyone has switched on to something that goes back longer than Pep Guardiola. It actually goes into Pellegrini, and that is the best way to play against Manchester City is if you can defend really fucking well and hit them on the counter. But you must hit them well on the counter.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden this season, we've seen Brentford, we've seen Fulham, we've seen so many teams go, we're just going to play the way you should play against City, which is with pace. And I think the drop off of Walker has made that even more relevant.
Yeah, because he was your insurance policy.
Yeah. And his
guess
legs have gone.
Dabs, guess who the best is at defending and counter attacking?
100%. It's with bro. I said it. You man buying. Who was it you sold? No. Who was it you sold? You sold a winger and
Brennan
brought
Johnson.
two. Yeah. So selling Brennan Johnson and bringing in Alanga and Hudson-Odoi. Yeah. It's just like
plus profit.
Plus profit, bro. It's just like Yeah, Alanga's cooked for you, man. Hudson-Odoi has as well. But
Bro, he's been shit
in
this
fact,
season, Alanga.
last season at your ground, yeah, you man should have won that game
Yeah.
probably.
That was
You
where you
should
scored
probably
from that
should have.
corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was
Oh,
Guardiola. He was in that goal scoring streak, yeah.
and Chris Woods missed some absolute sitters.
Yeah.
Absolute sitters.
But he's hunting Haaland down this season, mate. 9 goals already for Woodinho.
Coutinho.
Gonna be good.
Oh,
All right,
listen,
let's see who's
he's gone from Chris Wood to Chris Could to Chris Does, and now it's a decline. Now he became Chris Did.
Chris is, mate. He scored against
Chris
Ipswich
is.
at the weekend.
He's about to become Chris Did. Bro, it's a penalty.
Penalties don't count.
Well, I could probably say that with Haaland because
That would mean Haaland scored about 4 goals, mate.
no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. I don't know how many he scored, but nah, bro, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see who's got the chest out.
Will Chris Wood
I've got
want
nothing to
score?
lose. I've got nothing to lose. If you
Oh,
beat us,
no! You're not allowed to do that. You've got a lot to lose.
yes, I can.
You young man have had so much fucking chest this season, right? And your chest on Liverpool is the fact that you beat Liverpool. Therefore, if you don't beat Manchester City, you have no chest anymore. Right? You have to win this game.
No, I don't. I
Bro,
don't.
for your channel, maybe not. For Never a Foul, you have to win this game.
Bro, you don't win this game, and you will not be able to stand. I mean, you can't stand me anyway as it is, bro. But
bro, I hear it. Listen, for me and you, and for you and Cass, this next week, they all must win games. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. None of us can talk to each other until we play each other again at the back end of the season.
Exactly. All right, let's see what happens. Guys, Daps and Cass and the rest of the Never a Foul boys are legends, yeah? Dickheads, but legends, right? So make sure you go and subscribe to them. The link's pinned in the comments. Daps, been a pleasure as always, bro. I can't wait.
You really can't wait,
mate. I just want to see what happens because I think
you doing a watch along?
Yeah, I'm doing a watch along too.
Good. Good.
Yeah. It's gonna be
good. I don't know if I am yet. I might do, but either way, I will be calling you.
Yeah,
I will be calling you. So make sure you're not on your phone and you answer that.
I'll answer, mate. I'll answer. We'll talk, and don't you duck out.
Oh, bro, I will.
Afterwards,
more than you can believe. I will be there. More than you can believe.
We'll see. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, and we will see you for this game. It's going to be interesting. Come on, you Reds.